But I wanted to introduce our next speaker. And our next speaker is Justin Wheeler. Justin is another seasoned social entrepreneur. He has founded two successful nonprofits that have turned into multi-million-dollar organizations. He's currently serving as the co-founder and chief executive of Fundraise, and has got over 10 years nonprofit experience. And he's going to be talking to us about some of his experiences of AI and developing AI. So please welcome Justin Wheeler.
Before I jump into my presentation, I'd actually like to, I think I'm like one of the 4 people here from the States, and nowadays I feel like I need to apologize for that, so here I am, but it's great to be here. I'm going to be talking about AI from the perspective of product, specifically through my company, Fundraise, but there was like 2 different angles I was thinking about approaching this, and I'd landed on product. The other angle was actually how AI can optimize us as individuals in our roles within our companies. And this is, I think, equally as important because so much, the landscape has drastically changed. And so before I jump into my presentation, I actually just want to ask a couple questions and hopefully get some engagement here. But I would love to hear from anyone in the audience, what is one of your favorite tools that you're using today that has drastically changed your day-to-day, whether that's make you more efficient, has saved you time, et cetera. What are some tools that you can share with the rest of us here that has really helped optimize your day-to-day? Coffee machine. There you go. That's great. That one's never going out of style. Anybody else? MetaView. What does it do?
It joins Zoom and Google Chats, text to voice to text, and then it's got an AI component which is actually pretty smart and then helps you interrogate the conversation.
Awesome. Very cool. We're using an early product. Google released it maybe like a month and a half ago. We're, I think, on a beta of it, but we have 3 or 4 different offices around the world, and it's allowed actually our teams in our all hands monthly to speak in their native language, which has actually been quite transformative from just an update perspective. What else? What else is out there that you've used?
Notebook LM.
What's that?
Notebook LM.
What is that?
It's a Google product. Think ChatGPT, but trained on your local content. So
Okay.
you follow the bucket, you put in your files, and it gives you that kind of chat interface, but just your own content. And does AI audio overview of that very well.
Got it. Very cool. What else?
Bello.
Bello? Is that what I heard? Who said that?
Bello here.
Oh, what does it do?
It helps to get an overview over the different tasks of different people, and you can swap tasks and see how far they are done within it.
Very cool. That's awesome. We, about 6 weeks ago, a little late to the game, but about 6 weeks ago, we mandated what we call our AI first policy at our company. We're just under 100 employees around the world, and there's 3 sort of kind of core parts to this policy that we really wanted to inspire our team to think through. First is AI is now a core competency at the company. And the reason for that is because we have seen the tremendous benefits in productivity, which translates for us to the end user, our customers, as more value in our product, right? And so AI is now a core competency for every position at every level of the company, in existing team and all new hires. Second is curiosity needs to be self-driven, right? We're going to do enablement around the use of AI internally at our company, but like any great technology and companies or technologists, you need to be self-driven on how to use AI to really maximize sort of your day-to-day. And then the third policy is every new project has to be approached with an AI-first framework. And this is, even though we're 6 weeks in, the productivity gains we're seeing within our team is quite amazing. Now, this has nothing to do with my presentation today, but I wanted to touch on it because I think that end of the spectrum when we're talking about AI, when we're as leaders of organizations and companies and businesses, we often think about sort of maybe if you're one of the business owners, how is AI going to transform throughout my product? But then internally, there's how can I run my business better? And I think that is just as important. Okay, so let's jump into to the presentation. So my name is Justin Wheeler. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Fundraise. Fundraise is a technology company that serves over 3,000 nonprofit organizations across North America. About 80% of our customer base is in North America. The other 20% is spread throughout Europe. And so we have been working in improving technology for nonprofit organizations for the past decade. And I'm gonna take a step back to start sort of where my roots come from, because it's really what has inspired the evolution of Fundraise as it exists today. First, the problem that we have been tackling, and this goes back 10 years ago, and so this is less of the problem today. It's gotten more complex. But if you've ever, how many of you have donated to a charity? How many of you hated the experience? Yeah, it's really hard, especially 10 years ago. Donating to one of your favorite charities was almost impossible. At the time, most organizations didn't have a great giving page. It was hard to find, and if you found it, it felt more like you were, applying to college than actually like a smooth, seamless checkout, right? And so this was my frustration throughout my career in building two nonprofit organizations. So, anyone heard of Invisible Children? Some of you here actually had quite a big following here in London. But Invisible Children was one of the first nonprofits I helped start. And our approach was very different than the average nonprofit in North America. A lot of organizations index heavily on like corporate foundations, large grants. We built a mass market, a consumer market of donations. We had millions of individuals donating to Invisible Children at our peak. And in 2012, that movement turned into one of the, at the time, the most viral videos on the internet. Anyone remember Coney 2012? Coney 2012 was a 30-minute documentary we uploaded to YouTube. Our goal over the course of 12 months was to get 500,000 views, and in 6 days got 100 million views and raised $20 million in 24 hours. And this was really because although technology was lagging in the nonprofit sector, the organization had this mentality that we were going to create our own user experiences. We were going to create our own donor experiences. And so we built a lot of our own proprietary software at the time at Invisible Children. Then started an organization called Liberty in North Korea. Liberty in North Korea is an organization that's helping North Korean refugees make this 3,000-mile-long escape through a modern-day underground railroad. It's a 3,000-mile journey from the border of North Korea and China all the way to Southeast Asia. They have to make this journey in order to get asylum and refugee status in places like South Korea and the United States. How this organization was built was really built on through a technology framework to move these individuals. And so we developed an application that would allow us over time to get better and more secure in moving individuals, but also to provide a feedback loop to the donors. To show that, hey, the dollars we're raising, we're actually using it for what we said we were going to use it for. Here's real-time proof of individuals being rescued through this modern-day underground railroad. So spending 10 years building up organizations and raising a good amount of money through charity, we still were constantly coming to this inroad of just technology not needing to be where it needed to be for the nonprofit industry. And as an individual who is very passionate about nonprofit, I believe that it plays an enormous role in making the world a better place for everyone. I decided finally to branch out and to start Fundraise. So we launched it in 2015, July of 2015, actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary today. Or not today, sorry, this month. Yeah, thank you. And really the idea of Fundraise was to reinvent how nonprofits raised funds. A lot of this was borrowed from just my own experience of working in nonprofit for a decade and seeing how broken it was. And also some other interesting data points, which I'm going to get into, on why the industry needed to be reinvented. And I'm going to get to AI. This is all like leading up to what I want to talk about around AI in particular. But I want to give you some of this backstory to help kind of fill in some of the context. And so as we were thinking about the role fundraise could play in nonprofit tech, at this time, 10 years ago, there were some companies that I was paying close attention to. One of them just had come out of Y Combinator, which is a pretty prestigious incubator based out of San Francisco. And the others were already pretty well established, but had undergone some like pretty big business model pivots as a result of changing technology landscape, which is exactly where we're at today. Another very fast-moving landscape that's changing the way our business models even work. And so these businesses, to talk about them, a few of them, all household names: Netflix, Airbnb, and Lyft. Netflix did not invent the entertainment industry, but it did change how we consume entertainment, how we consume content. Airbnb did not invent the hospitality business, but they did prove that strangers would sleep at strangers' homes, even in strangers' beds. And Lyft also, I don't know, everyone has a smartphone here. If smartphones didn't exist, Lyft and Uber wouldn't have a business model. It only works because technology has gotten better, right? And so these were inspirations around sort of what I wanted to do with Fundraise in terms of reinvent an industry, change behavior, because for the last 3 decades in the United States, charity has only been about 2% of GDP. It's been pretty stagnant over time. And if we think about the problems that charity is trying to solve, in the US alone, about $450 billion is donated to charity. It's nowhere near enough. A good friend of mine, CEO, founder of an incredible organization called News Story, a very strong believer, his problem alone that he's trying to solve is a $1 trillion problem. And so even if he was able to raise all of philanthropy, there's still not enough dollars to solve the problem that he's trying to solve. And so this is really where technology comes into play. As we think about transforming industries, as we think about transforming markets, this is an opportunity for us to do just that. And that's what we've been working to do since day one of launching Fundraise. So let me talk a little bit about high level what we do, and then talking about how we're thinking about AI and how we see that changing the philanthropic market in the mid and long term. So the first thing we did, as I mentioned, giving was incredibly hard for most of us at some point, especially 10 years ago. So we launched the very first embedded form that was retained on an organization's website, that became dynamic to their brand. You had no idea who Fundraise was. This looked proprietary to your organization. This is what we built at Invisible Children Liberty in North Korea, and this is how we scaled. And so we wanted to make this mass market available to all nonprofits. The other thing is we limited what information you could ask in the donation process. Nonprofits are very bad at wanting to get all the information up front before that transaction happens. And so we made the form smart, where we actually mined most of the data that you were asking your donors. You can get that through other means, and we brought that data into the platform. And so this was like the first sort of like go-to-market product. It's been the flagship, and there's a lot more around it, but that was sort of how we came to market and saw lots of traction. The Fundraise platform focuses on 3 core modules. The giving platform, which is the giving form, is one, but essentially thinking about all digital channels and how you as an organization, as a nonprofit, need to be optimizing digital channels to scale and grow your nonprofit. So we have a whole product suite around that. The second is a donor management and CRM. In North America, nonprofits on average lose 58% of their donors. 58% of their donors. If my business lost 58% of our revenue every year, we would have been out of business in year 1, right? So this is a problem that we need to solve, and it's not just a technology problem. There's lots to unpack in this, but this is through our dynamic donor management and CRM. This is definitely one of the core problems that we're trying to solve for our nonprofit friends. And then the third is our analytics engine. Most organizations, big or small, don't have dedicated data and analysts. Nonprofits are sitting on a mine of data, and if they were able to analyze, could make better business decisions, could retain more revenue, and could raise more revenue. And so our analytics engine is a big part of the overall platform in what we're building. We've worked with some of the biggest names in nonprofits in North America, powering their fundraising and their donor management. It's as I take a step back and think about, as someone who started my career in the nonprofit space, very mission focused on like a particular thing, and most of that time it's been human rights. To be able to expand that by serving thousands of nonprofits, working on some really big challenges, is really one of the most rewarding, I think, things that I've experienced in my career. Okay, so here are some of the results, and then I'm going to jump into how we're leveraging AI to really change the game over the next decade, if you will. What we've analyzed sort of within our data, we helped our organizations, when a customer comes on to fundraise in the first 12 months, they 3x their digital revenue. And there's lots of reasons for that, which we can talk at point any time, but that's just what the data says. Second, we help increase recurring giving. We live in a subscription economy, and it's important for organizations to think about their business model, nonprofits to think about their business model in this way as well. It's more sustainable, and it allows them more predictability in year-over-year revenue growth. I'm going to talk about the next two actually through some of the applications that we've launched and are continuing to build around AI. Okay, so Fundraise AI. We've got a lab set up at the Fundraise, small but mighty R&D team, where we're looking at the application of AI in several different ways. At the core, we do not want to be fluff. And there's a lot of products that have AI attached to it that just are fluff. And so for us, it's what are the applications that drive the most value for our customer, for nonprofits? Where does it make the most sense? What are some of the biggest challenges organizations are facing, whether that's from a revenue perspective, a cost perspective, and how do we help solve for those? And so we've got some really great products on the market today that are really exciting, and I want to share about some of that. And then I also want to talk about where I see this going, not necessarily just through the lens of fundraise, but for the industry, for nonprofits. I do believe that AI is going to play a very big role in helping organizations get better at retaining donors, because they're going to get to know their donors at scale in a much more powerful way. So one of the first things we've launched, this is about 2 years in market, is our personalized ask string on the giving form. We've processed just north of $2 billion of online donation volume and across tens of millions of donors. And so we have some pretty interesting data to be able to learn how to personalize an ask at scale. And so when you go to a fundraise giving form, we're looking at signals like device type, the time of day that you're donating, your giving history, and some other signals that are allowing us to basically personalize this ask, to fine-tune it, because everyone knows, well, if you're in fundraising, if you ask for too much, you're going to miss a donation. If you ask for too little, you're going to leave some money on the table, right? So personalizing this ask string at scale has led to a conversion rate of over 50% on the fundraise giving form. Industry standard is about 32%, and since we've launched our personalized ask string, when someone goes to click donate, they convert at a 52% rate, which is pretty impressive from that regards. Okay, this one's a little bit nerdy, but super important. How many of you are familiar with card testing? So it is it's a $1 billion problem in the nonprofit world. So card testing basically is credit cards that are stolen. There's a whole black market to buy stolen credit cards. And then sophisticated fraudsters will use bots to basically go run dollar transactions on sites to ensure that the card still works, and they go resell the card, right? And this happens often on nonprofit giving forms because there's not a lot of restrictions on giving forms, right? And it's very easy for a bot to sort of like understand what fields it needs to fill out, process the transaction, and so forth. And then this causes a $1 billion cost to the industry because you're paying for credit card authorization rates, processing fees, refunds, and everything kind of in between. So it becomes very costly. So about a year and a half ago, we launched a fraud detection service specific to nonprofit. We got like some disco lights going on over here. That's pretty fun. Specific to nonprofit behavior, the nonprofit behavior. We're looking at 20 different sort of data points, and everything from location to donation size to the speed at which a donation is happening. And we have to do this in the context of our global customer base. And so usually when a bot is bashing in a fake credit card, it's doing like a donation per second, right? And so if you have too many donations happening per second, that could bring down performance. It could bring down the platform, which has never happened, thankfully, at Fundraise. But it does cause all sorts of concerns internally for our company, too. So we launched this fraud detector service that basically does two things. One is pre-transaction. We're analyzing, does this look fraudulent? Does this look like a human is not making this donation? And then post-transaction, if we missed it and there was an edge case, we retrain the model to bake that basically in. And what we have seen since launching this service to our customer base is a 94% drop in card testing across the Fundraise platform, which is pretty impressive. And I think what I'm even more proud of than that is it's helped save our customers over $10 million in the last year and a half in credit card processing fees. And so this is, I would say, an application of AI that adds a lot of value to our customers. It's not a service that we charge for, but it helps our customers keep their data clean, because when you have thousands of fraudulent transactions in your CRM, now your reporting is no longer accurate. And you have to do all this cleanup and so forth. And so this is something that's exciting and will continue to develop. And then the last area where we've really doubled down with AI is I mentioned earlier, nonprofits usually don't have a data analyst on hand. And so reading data, understanding, analyzing data is extremely important for any business, for any organization. And so there's several areas that we've developed within our intelligence tool to help in this area. First, actually it's not on there, but we launched a common language report builder tool. Across the Fundraise platform, there's probably 200 different objects. And so understanding that syntax and building your dashboards and reports can be a big learning curve. And so now with our natural language builder, you can say things like, show me all of my donors that have given 6 times across these countries that also have a recurring subscription with my organization. And boom, you can build the report. So common language, what you're all used to doing in like ChatGPT and other tools like that. Other areas that are super interesting is helping forecast revenue. More predictive analytics around what your next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months will look like as an organization based off of your data's history that you have in the CRM. And then anomalies, right? There's these spikes, like to the good or to the bad, that sometimes we will write off as just not understanding. Something happened, macro level that it's like hard to understand. And so we have this anomaly report that will help you make sense of these spikes, whether they're to the good or to the bad. For customers using our intelligence AI tool, what we have seen is actually a 32% increase in their revenue as a result of using Fundraise AI data. So it's pretty interesting and a pretty powerful tool. Where I see the next 10 years going for the nonprofit industry as it relates to AI, I think it can be summed up actually quite simple. Organizations historically, and I think this is really true of any business, but my expertise is more in building nonprofit organizations. Organizations are sitting on a landmine of data. And what I mean by that is, let's just say I'm a donor to Invisible Children. And I've donated, 25 times over 3 years. I've attended like 6 of their different events. I've purchased tickets for these different galas. I've bought these different items on their gala, at their auctions, at their galas. I've fundraised for them. I've raised $100,000. I mean, the list goes on of all the different ways I, as a donor, can be engaged with a nonprofit. But the problem is that is really hard, really, I think before generative AI, that is really hard to kind of process that data and make sense of that in a succinct way, especially at scale. If you're an individual that's managing hundreds, if not thousands of donors, it's really hard to take that data and make it actionable and relatable to the relationship that you're building with your donor base. And so the areas that Fundraise is the most hyper-focused on around AI specifically in this area is to help our customers make sense of this data in a snapshot view. And we're calling it donor stories, which will allow nonprofits at any size to be able to analyze this data, everything that's happened within their organization, and then benchmark it against organizations their size. They can also understand where they're at sort of in that bell curve. And I think this is something that's going to help organizations really level up, not just their fundraising, but their ability to retain and to grow a stronger foundation at their nonprofit. I'm happy to talk further if anyone that's interested during lunch throughout the day, but that's what I've got prepared today. So thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it, and looking forward to the rest of the speakers today.